I'm John Stevens. I've been at Birchwood for 19 years now, and I'm now the head of technology. I got a message from Chris Ingate, head teacher, from a nurse at Church Street Surgery asking for us to 3D print some face masks, part of a big national project that was just starting. And we looked into doing it and realised it would take about 3 hours per mask to produce. So I contacted Roger, my colleague, and we came in, we had a look at the design, and we put our heads together to come up with something a bit more efficient and simpler to manufacture. And by the next day, we had the first prototype, or by that day, in fact, we had the prototypes that we took down to Michelle. She was happy with them, and then production just started from there. At first, we weren't sure, how much of an impact we could actually make. But after sort of distributing the first lot out to sort of local nurses, doctors' surgeries, and just seeing the delight on their face and the relief on their face, in some cases, and tears in the eyes, that they were actually going to be getting some PPE as they couldn't get hold of any at all. Anyway, just actually sort of made us realise that what we were doing was worthwhile and we needed to carry on with it. And so that's why we just pushed ahead and carried on.
My name's Selina Appleby and I work as a science technician. Well, about a week after the guys started to set up the production line, it was clear they needed some extra resource, so I was phoned and told your country needs you, and I was straight in to help with the assembly of the visors. So when it was announced that the schools were going to close, we were aware that we obviously, as a science department, have a lot of safety specs, goggles, plastic aprons, gloves, and we boxed all these up and donated them to the local hospital through a friend of mine that's an A&E nurse.
So after we'd made the first prototype and tried it on ourselves and taken it down to the Church Street Surgery for them to try, just to make sure, we'd never made one before, just to make sure that it was something that was going to meet the need, we then got materials out of our store, looked at what we were long on, what we had plenty of, what we were short of, placed some initial orders with our suppliers. They were brilliant at coming and bringing stuff to us the next day. Once we had a good clear plan on how much resource we had, how much we would need in order to make initially, let's say 100 a day, we then phoned around colleagues, emailed colleagues and said, would you be available to come in? And we had a really good response to that. And there were about 10 or 12 of us in every day.
It'd be a lovely thing just to sort of be recognised for for all the work that everybody put in, the time that they gave up, and also for technology as a whole, because what we did was technology in action. It was constant development, constant changing of ideas, modification, and just sort of letting people know what we actually do and how we do it.